Boaters love to feel the wind in their hair, the sense of power and freedom while cruising along on the waves. Your captain could feel so competent behind the wheel that he may think he can handle anything. But if the captain is going out without a life jacket on, we can only conclude he doesn't have all the information he needs. We are the Canadian Safe Boating Council, and if you saw all of the boating tragedies that we have seen, and if you had gone through what thousands of Canadian families have experienced, you would make sure that the captain was wearing some kind of modern flotation device. So we're going to help you protect the boaters in your family and provide great solutions that you and your captain can happily live with. We're going to do some tough talking and tell you things that you probably were not aware of. For instance, did you know that last year, more than 100 Canadian men, many who were capable and strong, drowned? Not all were weak swimmers by any means. Many have boated for years. Most even had life jackets with them. The problem is they don't wear them. Now that's a big problem, and for a reason you might not have even thought of. Consider cold water. Most of the time, Canadian water is cold, and falling into cold water without a life jacket on can have deadly consequences. One is drowning immediately due to the cold shock response. If you survive the initial cold shock response, in only a few short minutes, you will lose the physical ability to swim and keep your head above water. But even when the water is warm, finding a life jacket and getting it on while in the water can be very difficult. Now maybe your boater says the only time to wear a life jacket is when the weather's bad, because he thinks that's the only time you might run into trouble. Well, that's a start. But according to statistics, the unexpected doesn't just happen in bad weather. Half of the boating incidents happen on sunny, warm days when the water is relatively calm. The question is, what could go wrong on a nice day? Well, most people aren't on their guard against the unexpected when everything is quiet and peaceful. They might pay less attention to hazards above and below the water. They take more chances, and they likely are not wearing their life jacket because they don't think disaster can happen to them. But things can happen. Things beyond our control, even if we're the most experienced boater on the water. The truth is, people who aren't wearing life jackets or PFDs are much more likely to die on the water, and that is enough of a reason to wear a flotation device. Remember as a child being forced to wear something like couch cushions squished into your front and back? All of that has changed. Today's life jackets and personal flotation devices are built to be comfortable and provide plenty of freedom of movement and are tailored for your on-water activity. If the fisherman you know is off to catch the big one, give a gift of a fishing life jacket with pockets for all the fishing gadgets and gear. These jackets are designed to allow lots of freedom of movement to cast and are comfortable enough to be worn all day. For the paddler in your life, a paddling jacket will provide the safety and security needed in case of an accidental upset. Because they're designed to sit high in the waist, they won't ride up, and they have large armholes that won't restrict the freedom of movement needed to paddle the boat. If boating for sheer pleasure and you don't like to feel restricted, stay safe in one of the new inflatable designs. There are suspender and belt pack styles that you will barely know you have on until you need it. They inflate manually or automatically on impact with the water. You know, these days, there are more reasons to wear life jackets than not to wear them. They're comfortable, stylish, and useful. And if more people were wearing them, the lives of more than 100 husbands, fathers, and brothers may have been saved last year. You can't tie the boaters in your family down on the boat, but you can tie life jackets on them. They'll barely even know they're wearing them. But if someone or something hits the boat, or they lose their balance reeling in that big one, at least they'll have a fighting chance. It will save you all kinds of worry and quite possibly even heartache. Right here on this page, you'll find resources to help you convince the captain you care for to do what's right and what's smart. Let's get started.